Yeah, I have no idea, maybe about 3 months now, at least. Yeah, he's 6'8", roughly 385 pounds. He has a Superman logo tattoo on his right shoulder, I believe. Big old beard. Yeah, always walking around like kind of fatigue pants, black tank top. Yeah, please do. Again, it's been about 3 months and we're just kind of getting a little worried. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Give me a call back when you get anything. Thanks again. Bye. All right, bye-bye. Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. I was on the phone with local authorities. I'm really trying to do my part in searching for the monster among men, Braun Strowman. Because for 3 months, as I said to the authorities, he's gone. We don't know where he is. He's been missing. MIA. And we don't know where the fuck this guy is, man. Because what we've been seeing on Raw, that ain't no monster. That's a regular, humanized son of a bitch with his balls tucked between his legs. That's all that is. This is a man who walks around disguised as a monster when in reality, he never gets the job done. He never delivers what he says he's going to. How many times can you say you're gonna do something and you just don't do it? How many times can you get away with that before people start looking at you and laughing and looking at you as a joke? It's like the boy that cried wolf. If you don't know that story, look it up. That's like if I tell you, after work, I'm going to buy you a couple rounds at the bar. We're going to go out for a few drinks after work, and I don't show up. And then the next week I tell you the same thing, but I don't show up, and you're sitting at the fucking bar, and you're wondering what the fuck is going on. I'm supposed to be meeting somebody for drinks, but I don't show up. And then the next week I do the same shit. And the next week, how many times are you going to actually show up to that fucking bar before you get it through your head, I can't be trusted on following through with what I say I'm going to follow through with? This son of a bitch said he was going to win the war with Roman Reigns. No, you're not, and no, you didn't. This son of a bitch said he was going to beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. No, you're not, and no, you didn't. This son of a bitch said, the first chance I get, I'm going to get my hands on Baron Corbin. No, you're not. No, you didn't. You didn't get revenge on Baron Corbin. This son of a bitch got his Universal Championship hopes dashed when Baron Corbin put the title belt to his dome piece at Crown Jewel. And he was so irate. He didn't care about matches or getting fired. He wanted to get those hands on Baron Corbin. He went through security. He was beating up suits and ties backstage. And Stephanie just had one request. You get through Survivor Series and you can put your hands on Baron and get whatever you want. So last night on Monday Night Raw, we kick off Raw with Baron Corbin in the middle of the ring. Braun comes down. Stephanie McMahon's in the middle. Braun doesn't have to explain himself to Stephanie McMahon. He already held up his end of the bargain. But he felt he needed to explain to Stephanie and ask for permission to put his hands on Baron Corbin. No, if you were that pissed, if you were going to make good on your word of getting revenge the second you can, then the second you got in the ring last night, because your end of the bargain was fulfilled at Survivor Series, so the second you enter that ring, you beat the fuck out of Baron Corbin because you already know you can't trust the son of a bitch. So you fucking absolutely wreck him. And then you look at Stephanie and go, oh, by the way, I want him at TLC in a TLC match. And I want Brock. And I want a new lunchbox. And I want fucking a new grapefruit drink and new chocolate chip cookies in that lunchbox. You start doing your demands after you wreak havoc. That's what a monster would do. A monster wouldn't show up in the middle of the ring and start asking for the things he's owed. That's what I mean about acting and looking and being booked as a tool. From the moment he tag teamed with a 10-year-old kid, his recess buddy from 4th grade, Nicholas, to the moment he actually went to Baron Corbin, handed him his briefcase, and said, I'm going to cash in a month from now at Hell in a Cell. That was brilliant. That shows you the dumbest fucking cash-in attempt I've ever seen in my fucking life. And then later that night, he turns heel. So if you're gonna turn heel, why would you give your briefcase up and tell the world, including your opponent, that you're cashing in a month from now? He's booked as an absolute dummy. A fucking dumb schmuck of proportions I've never seen before. At the level that I've never seen before. That is how this guy is booked. He is not a monster. He is a fucking clown. He's the clown among men. Every time he says he's gonna do something, he never does. The best part of the booking of Braun is when he's just throwing his tantrums and just throwing bows at everybody. So if you guys, in your daily ventures today or going forward, if you end up seeing the guy I described to the authorities, 6'8", 385, fatigues, black fucking tank top, Superman tattoo on his right shoulder, big old beard disguised as a monster, if you see that son of a bitch, call your local authorities or throw down a comment to the Amplified Man's channel. Because we need to get the actual fucking monster out of this fucking deactivated son of a bitch. Because this monster has been deactivated. Bottom line. Now I'm actually going to throw a little bit of positivity in here. That's right. So for the positivity police out there, basically has not mentioned one thing positive yet, or 5 minutes into the video. For you positivity police, get ready for this, because this is actually going to go against popular opinion, I bet. I actually liked that first match of Raw. I know, 45 minutes this match went. A lot of people are saying too boring, too long. I liked it. For once, we didn't get a bunch of shit just thrown at us. Nonsensical, redundant shit. 4 different segments in like a half an hour. For once, we let a match breathe. We let a story breathe. Whether we like Braun and Corbin's story or not, we let that son of a bitch breathe. Lashley's new direction, whether you like it or not, we let that breathe. Elias in there for 30 minutes to 45 minutes-ish. Hey, let that motherfucker show what he can do. Let that breathe. We let things breathe. For once, they didn't try to just dish out 100 segments in 12. They just went out there, they gave a 6-man elimination tag match. Yes, it was absolutely boring at times. If I'm in the live crowd, I'm really fucking bored plenty of times during that match. But because we were home, we got some commercial breaks to break it up, and it was an elimination match, not just a 6-man tag, I was okay with this match. Again, the first hour you can experiment and do that type of shit. You know, all the action really has to come in the next couple of hours, right? Your final 2 big ones. I was okay with that match. 45 minutes, I thought it was a good idea. I wish there was a little bit more excitement. But when you're in there with such bigger guys, how much do you think they can do? Braun Strowman's in there. Drew McIntyre ain't no small guy. Bobby Lashley ain't no little dude. Who the fuck was with, Elias isn't the smallest of motherfuckers, and he's not the most fucking athletic, so how much excitement can you get out of these guys in 45 minutes? You only got one, really, and that's Finn Balor. And he was the first guy eliminated at around the half an hour point. So, but I liked it, guys, I really did. What I really enjoyed was the beating afterwards. If you're gonna beat up a monster, that's how you do it. I love that beatdown. 3-on-1, beautifully done. Get creative using the belt and tying his hand and his arm into the staircase, and then Baron picking up the staircase and chucking that into his arm. Illusion. In an illusion, I should say. You know, the fucking... The way it was done, I guess is what I'm trying to say, was beautifully done. Because they got creative. They used the belt, they used the steps. I liked it, man. I really do. That's how you beat down a monster. But the problem I have is it's Braun getting beaten like that again, man. And when you see somebody just get tooled on for so long, Crown Jewel, a championship main event, and this guy doesn't even get one bit of offense in. The match ends in just a minute or two. 4 or 5 fucking F5s, that's it. He gets zero offense. We just see him get tooled on at Crown Jewel. So bad that Daniel Bryan got more offense than Braun Strowman did against Brock Lesnar in their respective main events. Daniel Bryan got way more. I don't care about a title shot to the back of the head. He's a monster among men. He's not just a normal man, supposedly. So we see him get tooled on at Crown Jewel. We've seen him get tooled on a million fucking times. And then last night we see him get tooled on again. I love the way it was done. If you're gonna set up a Braun Strowman fucking shattered elbow storyline, that's the way to do it. It's just way on the heels, back to back to back to back to back of us always seeing this guy get tooled on. It's becoming a fucking joke like Nia Jax's wrestling skills. It's that bad. I don't know if you could save this motherfucker and make him a monster again, because I promise you right now, the monster has been deactivated. I don't know if we can get that same mystique back. I don't know. The shattered elbow storyline, I felt Braun sold it beautifully. For a big 6'8", 385 dude like him, rolling around the mat, bloodied, that's what really helped. The blood lately has really been helping superstars. That Becky Lynch fucking iconic moment where she's talking shit and blood streaming down her face. Yes, well thank you for that, Nia, but the fucking blood made for an iconic photo, picture, memory. Ronda Rousey busted open during her beating with Charlotte Flair this past Sunday at Survivor Series. This is supposed to be a shattered elbow, and he was already bleeding from that arm from the stair shot that he took earlier in the beating. So the blood's really been helping out these iconic moments and helping selling the story. And they played off a shattered elbow story. Like I said, his arm was tied down. Baron Corbin throws stairs into it. The illusion that he shattered his elbow. And that's the story. I haven't heard anything. It's really early on a Tuesday morning. I haven't heard that he's actually injured. But it's possible, but I doubt it. Because, guys, he went out there and put on a 45-minute match. Just fine. So there's nothing that you could have just taken him off for a week or two. You didn't have to do a whole injury storyline saying he shattered his elbow. But that's what they're going with. Maybe because they know they fucking humanized this motherfucker. So now they're going to show that he could still be a monster while injured. Maybe that'll help get him some sympathy and some steam. I don't know. But I don't think he's really injured to the point where he can't wrestle because he just fucking wrestled a 45-minute match. But what they're giving us, as of now, is storyline-wise, is a shattered elbow. And again, I love the way he played it off. Rolling around the mat, bloody, screaming. He starts yelling to the fucking doctors at ringside, I can't feel my hands, my fingers, I can't feel them. That's actually true from somebody who has shattered his elbow, guys. Yours truly shattered my fucking elbow in football practice. This wasn't even a game. We were doing hitting drills, landed totally the fucking wrong way. Part of that was my fault. First, I heard the fucking pop. My elbow just dislocated instantly, and it dislocated so bad that it broke off fragments of my bone. So my bone shattered several pieces when my elbow dislocated. Basically, what I was told was my elbow fucking just was shattered. So, he sold it beautifully because that's true. You can't feel your hand, your fingers, you're screaming in fucking agony. It's fucking pain, no question. But now my question is, how do you go forward? Because for somebody who has shattered his fucking elbow, ain't nobody gonna clear you for months. The physical therapy takes months. They're gonna have this motherfucker in 3 or 4 weeks being at TLC, I bet. Trying to gain that sympathy. Oh, he's fighting injured. And this will be an easy way for maybe Corbin to win. And then who knows what happens with Braun and Brock at Royal Rumble. Because Braun has to win that match at TLC to get his match against Brock. So I don't know. But I don't see Baron Corbin losing this because then he loses all power. Do they have another GM lined up? I don't know. All these questions have to be answered at TLC. And that's why off the gate, right out of the gate, TLC kind of intrigues me. But what do you do with Braun? You're claiming it's a shattered elbow. We came across the wrong motherfucker telling me that because I shattered my elbow and it took months to fucking regain everything in that elbow. To this day, my elbow doesn't go all the way down. That's it, guys. You see that shit? That's as far as it goes down. Because when it dislocated, it locked into place. It was locked here. I had to get it all the way back there. So when they popped it back, it went to this position. Then they casted it. And then when I was ready to come out of that, I had to begin physical therapy to get this arm all the way down. The problem was they told me it might not ever go all the way down. Guess what? It didn't! And he's coming back in 3 to 4 weeks? I understand he didn't dislocate the elbow, I don't believe. That's not what they said. This was just a straight shot shattering the fucking bone. But still, your elbow is no joke. That shit ain't just coming bouncing back in 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So if I'm overanalyzing this storyline of a shattered elbow, it's for good reason. I shattered mine. So for me to want to sit back and believe in what I'm watching, you better do this story the right way, guys. And by guys, I mean WWE. You're playing off a shattered elbow, you better know what the fuck you're doing and make people like yours truly, who have been to war with that type of injury, you better make us believe that shit. I don't want to see this guy next week just throwing fucking bows like it's nothing. Not realistic. But I love the way this was done. I just wish it wasn't the monster among men, because this motherfucker has been deactivated. The winners of this match was, there was none. I think they just threw it out. So we went through a 45-minute match. No winners. They just started jumping Braun Strowman. So that's what I don't like. I'm okay with a 45-minute match. Give me a fucking winner. Otherwise, we just watched 45 minutes for what? They could have jumped him in the first 2 minutes. Or you could say, yeah, they were waiting for Elias and Balor to leave. You know, them get eliminated, have Braun all to themselves, help out their general manager, Baron Corbin. They'll get a little treat dangled in front of them next week. You could play that off too, I guess. But 45 minutes and no winner? Kind of feel cheated there. But that was the whole opening of Monday Night Raw. I didn't mind a 45-minute match at all. I actually loved the beatdown. It's just the shame in all of this is the monster has seriously, storyline-wise, and to us real fans that see what the fuck is going on with his booking, the monster has been deactivated. But that wasn't the only thing last night, right? Because Seth freaking Rollins hit the ring, and he called out his now nemesis, once brother, Dean Ambrose. But Dean Ambrose wasn't going to oblige, no. Dean Ambrose had his own mind games that he was going to play with Seth Rollins again this week. And this I love as well, because it's one of those stories that drags out throughout the show. I fucking love this. I say this a million times on this channel already. I'll probably end up saying it another million times going forward. There is nothing like watching a 3-hour fucking show and actually being intrigued over a storyline that takes course through the 3 hours. Like when somebody is waiting in the parking lot for somebody to arrive, and after every match or every other match, they keep panning to the parking lot and that superstar is waiting. It builds anticipation. I love it. When somebody's backstage looking for somebody. I love that shit. That's why when they were booking Braun that way, I fucking love that. Then they fucking deactivated it. They tried to reactivate the monster. Now they're deactivating it. You can't fucking keep doing that. That's how you kill guys like Braun. But I love the storylines when you keep going backstage and you follow a superstar's journey to get to his quest, to fulfill his fucking destiny for that night. You are basically on an adventure with them. That's awesome. That's exciting and that's intriguing and it's fun. Last night, Seth Rollins was on a mission to get to Dean Ambrose. And Dean Ambrose was playing all these mind games backstage. Seth, I'm right here. You know where we are. It's where we used to hang out. Basically like the fucking boiler room or some shit. Rollins goes there. There's nobody there. But on the door, there's just a message. Burn it down or some shit. So Seth Rollins is pissed off. Seth is trying to find him through the hallways, the locker room. Ambrose is nowhere to be found. At one point, Charlie Caruso is interviewing Seth backstage, and Ambrose walks right by in the background, Titus O'Neil is a fucking narc. Snitches get stitches. Titus O'Neil's like, Seth, he's over here. So Seth Rollins is chasing after Ambrose. Finally, Rollins is like, listen, I'm not going to play these games. I'm out of here. I'll get Ambrose eventually. Seth Rollins leaves the arena, so we think. After the main event, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, Ambrose actually comes to the ring, cuts a promo not just on Rollins, but on the people of LA, saying there's a certain smell in the air, and it's you people that smell of fake, phony LA. So Ambrose I love heel Ambrose because he's just letting it go, man. And he's along my level when it comes to that heel heat, that heel level. And he's talking about how he doesn't care about their emotions and feelings about what he said about Roman or anybody or anything that he's done. He's talking about what is up with you people. You're so emotional lately. I love that promo, man, because it's a BC-esque promo. The promos that I cut here on this channel, basically. I love that. Here comes Rollins, man. I love the way they do it. They didn't just play the music. They actually showed Rollins entering the arena again, backstage. Ambrose sees him up on the Tron. Ambrose is kind of getting a little fidgety. What are you doing, buddy? He starts yelling out, what are you doing, buddy? Even though Rollins maybe can or can't hear him. But Rollins is entering from backstage. Finally, did his music hit? I think it may have actually hit. Either way, Rollins comes down the rampway, enters the ring, spears down Ambrose, and we got the fucking brawl going on. But it didn't take long for Ambrose to tap into his true heel nature. Low blow. We've been seeing a lot of low blows lately in WWE. Shinsuke started it. And obviously Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series to Brock. We just saw another one. AJ Styles got one too for Daniel Bryan to pick up the championship. So kind of Daniel Bryan has taken the low blows from Shinsuke. But now that has actually transferred over to Raw as well, because now Ambrose is using the low blow. So that was fucking badass. Rollins drops like a ton of bricks, and it's on. Ambrose picks up Rollins' head right into the camera, and he says, I was talking to your people. Don't you ever interrupt me again. Love that message. Don't you ever interrupt me again. And he picks him right up. Dirty deeds. Knocks Seth Rollins straight the fuck out. Picks his head up like a fucking, just true heel nature. I love this. Picks Rollins' head up and he looks out into the crowd with this devious fucking look. We fade to black. We go off the air. That's how Raw ended. Dean Ambrose. Monday Night Ambrose. Not Monday Night Rollins, because Ambrose did the deed, the dirty deed, to Seth Rollins. Love that whole segment to end Raw, but even more importantly, I love the whole story arc the whole night. This is what I love for Raw. Keep going back to a drawn-out story. That's what you need on these 3-hour shows. Draw out a story. Compel us, intrigue us. Captivate us with some type of story that makes us want to and need to find out if somebody is going to find what they're looking for. I love those type of stories. Beautifully done. Alright. Now we have to go back to getting amplified again. Unfortunately, I talk about some good shit, and then my mind is befuddled when we talk Sasha Banks and Bayley. Because here we go with Sasha Bayley. We finally got them away from the Riot Squad. Absolutely blessed for that, all of us. But be careful what we ask for, because we just might get it. And we got it. They were away from the Riot Squad. We have a moment to fucking breathe. Fresh air. Nope. Now it's time to feed them to the fucking talentless twins. That's right, the talentless twins. I've already named their tag team. They don't have to do it. They're the talentless twins. Nia and Tamina. Let's feed Sasha Banks and Bayley to them. We fed them to the Riot Squad for 8-9 months. Since April, anyway. Let's now feed them to the talentless twins. We'll probably get the same match next week and the following week, all the way up to TLC. Where how do we reward horrible wrestling? We give them a championship match. That's what we're doing for Nia. Let's give somebody who cannot fucking wrestle a lick. Let's give them a title match at TLC. Fucking beautifully put there, Vince. So Sasha Banks and Bayley get fed to the talentless twins. And by the way, Sasha at least put up a fucking fight. Bayley had that aggression again. I'm loving the new Bayley. There's more aggression and less smiles. I love that shit. Shows that she actually wants to be there and compete and actually try to be the best. Good job on Bayley again. Sasha's kicking ass again. And then when they cut backstage to a backstage interview after the match, Charlie Caruso's like, a dominating win by the talentless twins. I'm like, dominating? What the fuck? You just discredited everything Sasha and Bayley just did out there for 5 to 10 minutes. And it was at least 10 minutes, I think. Because after the match, the talentless twins were absolutely fucking wrecked. They were breathing heavy. You could tell they're skipping cardio days because they were breathing heavily. They never had a fucking 10-minute match where they actually had to do work. But Sasha and Bayley made them work last night. And you could tell Nia was being extra careful in that ring. I don't know if that's from her or if that's management telling her, hey, we're going to roll with this heel heat that you got, but you got to do us a solid. You got to ease up in that ring. If you go back and watch that match, guys, that was not the Nia that we know, the reckless, careless. This was like even harder to watch, kind of, because she wasn't even like laying into anything. So she's kind of totally, this is what I mean about going back in training. Because now her whole fucking, she can play a fucking badass on social media, right? She's going to play along with this and talk about, oh, I knock girls out and I'm the fucking baddest and I'm so good. She can talk all the shit, but her confidence is shook. And that's what I mean. People like me who know this business, we're not trying to shake your confidence or make you feel bad. We're trying to first save the lives of our entertainers in there. But secondly, we want to see you do good in life. But you have to follow our advice. You have to be trained better. Now you totally 360'd. Now there was one moment she went to throw Sasha into the turnbuckle. She didn't even go with her. In other words, your shoulder's supposed to go. She was like a foot away. Come on, brah. So Sasha and Bayley, we got them away from the Riot Squad, and now they're just being fed to the talentless twins. I don't know if the year can get any more drastically horrible for Sasha and Bayley. I really don't. 2019 cannot come soon enough for them females. And she wasn't even part of the show, but I want to mention her. Ember Moon. Usually when a big talent is off of a pay-per-view, usually the next Monday night they're being showcased. Ember Moon was not even part of... Ember Moon! For anybody that actually knows what and who Ember Moon is and what she could do, what I'm saying, those words, is criminal. She wasn't even a part of Survivor Series. But then on top of that, post-Survivor Series Raw, not even a part of it. I believe she was in a main event match with fucking Alicia Fox before Raw. How are you doing Ember Moon dirty like this? Your only thing to tell me is, BC, maybe they're waiting to give her an awesome 2019. But wouldn't Sasha deserve that first? She's been there longer. She's been stuck in obscurity the whole fucking year. And you're not going to tell me they're going to give mega storylines to everybody, including the fucking champion, right? I always said you could give multiple storylines that are epic. It doesn't have to be just the champion. But WWE has done nothing to show us that they can do that, or that they're willing to do that. So now you're telling me Ronda's going to have an epic storyline, Sasha's going to have an epic storyline, Bayley will have an epic storyline, Ember Moon's going to have an epic storyline. WWE hasn't proved they can do that. I know they can if they actually use their creativity and gave them the time of day, but they're not willing to. And then you have Ronda, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, probably Nia, all having major matches at WrestleMania. Where does this leave Ember? They are totally shitting on that talent, and that is criminal. Ember Moon, man, if she was in NXT, we'd be seeing epic matches with Ember. Now that she's on the main roster, we don't even get to see Ember Moon. That's a shame for somebody who's a huge Ember Moon fan, man, because she is such an awesome talent, great to watch in that ring, and we don't even get to view her. She graduated. It's like graduating from college and going to prison. She should have stayed in college and had a great time. More tag team action. faction, the Revival, in the Lucha open house party, summer, winter party, whatever the fuck kind of party they're throwing, with their fucking piñata. Corey Graves stopped saying, I guess, remember his line the first week they debuted? They're just three amigos that want to have a good time with their piñata. That was the corniest thing Graves has ever said. And I'm sure Vince said, don't ever say that again, because he has never said that again. Three amigos that just want to have fun with their piñata. That sounds so fucking quirky, awkward. But now they're just the open house party, or whatever the fuck they're called. They just announced that it's going to be under Lucha rules, which is 3-on-2. How the fuck can you... I do agree with Corey Graves on this. How can you just make your own fucking rules? But okay. It doesn't take three of them to beat the Revival, though, because the Revival just fucking sucks. I know, there's a diehard fan base out there. No, the Revival's actually decent, BC. In NXT, they had some good matches. Okay. In NXT, everybody had great matches. On the main roster, the Revival is never going to get over because they just don't have the fucking it factor. They don't have the connection with the crowd, and I'm talking the casual, the mainstream, and even the diehards. You show up to Chicago and Brooklyn and LA, the crowds ain't ranting and raving for the Revival. There's nothing special. No flips, just fists. Well, that worked back in the 70s and 80s, motherfuckers, but you gotta entertain us some more than just what you're giving us. You got the short little pudgy bald guy, Scott Dawson. You got Wilder. Ain't saying they're not tough, ain't saying they can't wrestle. But when it comes to the it factor and being something special, they're not bringing anything special, bro. Don't fool yourself. You got some diehard fans that want to think they're more epic than they truly are. No, they had some great NXT matches. Absolutely great, I said. One of their matches in NXT. Match of the year for yours truly. But I told you back when they were in NXT, they better pray they don't go to the main roster because they will never get over. And I was right again. Because the Amplified Man is always fucking right. That's not even ego. I seem to always call it exactly how it is, and nobody up front wants to fucking realize it, and then they always come back weeks or months later and go, BC, fuck, you were right again. Thank you. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I study this thing to the finest detail, this whole business. I won't steer you guys wrong. The Revival just... So you can't blame Vince on, the Lucha house party fucking beat them. What do you think? What was the Revival? Honestly, come on! It's the Revival! The whole tag team division is totally fucking bogus. The AOP is being built fucking bogus too, actually. The AOP had a match last night, didn't they? Against fucking, Gable and Rude. Gable and Rude actually defeated AOP, I believe. And on top of that, the biggest story with AOP is Drake Maverick pissing his pants at Survivor Series. So they can't even book the AOP right, and you're complaining about two little hobbits in the Revival. Stop it! Actually, I thought the thing last night with, Drake Maverick. I thought that was funny, man. Backstage, he was at catering. I like this. Again, they went backstage. They had some fun with some backstage segments. I love that shit. So he's in catering, and everyone's making jokes. I think it was Rhino. He's like, hey, get the peas. Try the peas. Get it? Yeah, so, it's fucking the stupidest humor. But it was so stupid, it's funny. It's kind of like Anchorman, the movie. It's so fucking dumb and stupid, but it's funny as fuck. And then everyone's making fun. So he looks at Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, and Drake goes, oh, you're in big trouble now. And they start cracking up, and they're like, you're in big trouble. Urine. He said urine. It was like Wayne's World. You ever see the movie Wayne's World? You're on. Can you say urine? I thought it was funny. No? Well, I thought it was funny, man. I really did. Hey, listen, when you're in a 3-hour show, and you're searching for some entertainment, that at least made me laugh, man. So I like that. It's just a shame. It's a shame that the AOP not only has to be associated with the peeing storyline, but also they're just losing to Chad and Gable. On the flip side, I don't want to see Bobby Roode losing, but I also don't want to see Bobby Roode stuck in a tag team with Gable. On that same side, I don't want to see Gable stuck in a tag team with Roode. They both should be individual. I'm not saying Bobby Roode is some main event guy like he was in NXT. I know he's probably a mid-carder in this roster. But, so let him shine a little bit, man. I don't know. I don't want to see Chad Gable stuck, man. He's always had a tag team partner stuck with him. They're like two fucking dipshits in a potato sack. They can't get away from each other. Boom. I'll go to Ronda Rousey last night, huh? Rousey comes out and cuts another damn good promo about what it means to be a champion. And of course, LA's booing her some more. They boo her a lot. A lot of you guys don't understand. A lot of it comes from MMA. There's a big MMA audience down there in California. Over there. What am I saying? Down there? Over there. I'm on the East Coast. But there's a huge MMA, and I think a lot of them always associated Ronda's losses and really ragged her. I don't know if you would have gotten that same response in other areas, but I don't understand the booing for Ronda. You have nothing to boo her for. You really don't. She doesn't deserve the title. Bullshit. Yes, she does. She deserves it 1,000,000 fucking %. I promise you. There wasn't even that many boos in California for Alexa Bliss, and you're telling me Alexa Bliss earned that championship. Why? Because she put in some extra time in the Performance Center. She was in NXT. Doesn't mean her fucking skills and talents are any fucking better. At all. In fact, they're not. But you didn't boo her that viciously. Nia Jax, before you fucking finally saw what I've been telling you for so long now, that she's fucking horrible at what she's doing, she never got that type of heat, though. But Ronda Rousey, you're going to boo so viciously when she's actually went out there every single time she was asked to and nailed her performances. She doesn't even stutter on her fucking promos. Her promos are not like a line or two like they feed Roman Reigns to give us. They used to do that with Roman so he couldn't really fuck up or we couldn't see through the bullshit. Ronda is giving these huge promos from Paul Heyman and she's nailing them. And they're still idiots trying to find flaws. She's not delivering it at the speed that she should. There was a lack of pristineness in the ending of that promo, BC. Go back and watch. Stop! Stop it, man. You're not even this harsh on people who have been doing this for years. 8 months in this business on that roster. Nailing every single one of her moments that she's asked to nail. And you're booing and ragging her. Thank you, Charlotte, for beating the fuck out of her at Survivor Series. Some of these wrestling fans are absolute dipshits that I would never in real life want to associate with. Not even just shake hands. I wouldn't even want to look in their direction. If you honestly look at Ronda Rousey with such disdain, you are an absolute fucking clown. You can call that my own fact. You can call that my opinion. That's fine. But if you rag her, you're a fucking clown. And your opinions to me are meaningless. Just like you are meaningless. Because it's clowns like you that can't evolve this business the way it should be. Charlotte turns heel, and now we're cheering her. That's going to lower Becky's stock, just so you know, because Vince heard that. Now Vince is like, shit, not only did it work for Becky, it worked for Charlotte. But I thought you guys didn't like Charlotte. Oh, now we're cheering her. I said from day one, Charlotte should never be face. She should always have been a heel. Because Charlotte, at her core, is a heel. So I'm loving it. But we can't go out there and show that she's the fucking hero now. Because then Vince is going to book her as such. So now you just fucked over your own Becky. And in the process, you're booing somebody who doesn't even deserve to be deserved. Ronda Rousey? The fuck has she done to make you hate her? Stop it. So now we cheer Charlotte because she turned. So now what? Where does it end? Now Ronda has to turn heel and then we're all going to finally cheer her? Doesn't end with you. You want to cheer every single person that goes fucking heel. 2 more weeks, Dean Ambrose is going to be cheered to the fucking moon and you're going to ruin his heel character. Let people be heels. Now we already have Becky Lynch hugging Charlotte. Because you wouldn't let her be a real heel. She had to become a face again. These are the same people booing Ronda Rousey. Boo, we don't like you, Ronda. Yes, because you'll never amount to anything that Ronda has already gotten in her life. In her fucking, 30s? So that pissed me the fuck off. So she was badass. Banged up, bruised. You know she is sore as fuck. You know. You fucking know. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you really don't know how this business works. Maybe you've never taken a bump, hit the ropes, gotten a fucking chair shot. Who the fuck knows? I'm telling you right now, she is fucking banged up last night. And she says, open challenge for my title right now. Corbin comes down, says absolutely not. Rousey's like, fine. Maybe you want to step up to the champ. And Corbin's like, you know what? Fine. I'll have somebody come out here. We go to commercial. We come back. Mickie James. I'm down with a Mickie James Ronda match. You could tell Ronda was definitely off her game last night. But she was battered, man. She was off her fucking rocker from the night before. And now you're asking her to go in there and step up with Mickie James? Fuck that, man. So Mickie James, I felt bad for Mickie. Mickie was thrown off her game because Ronda was definitely, finally, for the first time ever, I saw Ronda off her game. But again, you can't really put too much stock into that, man. The beating that she really took at Survivor Series. Because even though most of it's illusion and it's the show, those aren't fucking like strawberries getting thrown at you. Alright? You saw the bruises, the real bruises all over her body. Cuts. Wounds. Battered. Sore. The way she was walking. So, I'll definitely throw her that mulligan, man. It ended with Ronda Rousey obviously beating Mickie James. Armbar. Yeah. So that was Ronda Rousey's segment, man. That was really cool to see. You know, Ronda stepped up even throughout all the boos on Sunday. She showed right back up, cut another damn good promo, put her title on the line. I like it. And we ended the main event because it was actually the storyline between Rollins and Ambrose, but the actual wrestling main event was Ruby Riott versus Natalya. Natalya's revenge for her father's broken glasses. We finally get to the bottom of it. It took us 3 hours to find out if Natty would get revenge. What a 3-hour show. And yes, Natty got her revenge. Natty pins Ruby Riott. 1, 2, 3. Natty's got a big smile. And all of this broken glasses shit was for the main event on a Monday Night Raw. So yes, I'm glad that achieved something. What did it achieve? I have no fucking idea. That was Monday Night Raw, I believe, guys. I believe, right? Not all my fucking notes anyway. That's the majority anyway. I mean, maybe there was a little segment there and there, but that was Monday Night Raw. I can't say it was a total shit show because you had some cool... I love Ronda Rousey. I love what she did last night, throwing her strap on the line. I actually loved the Braun Strowman beatdown. It's just a shame that it's Braun Strowman again getting tooled on. I love the fact that they gave a match in the first hour 45 fucking minutes. Don't just throw 10 nonsensical, redundant bullshit segments at us. It's not needed. Let shit breathe. Rollins and Ambrose's storyline throughout the night, I fucking loved it, and I loved Dean Ambrose getting the upper hand when Raw went off the air last night. That was cool. I thought the Maverick catering thing was actually funny. I know that that's against popular opinion, but I'm a different dude. Yeah, so, I mean, there was definitely good shit last night. That's a good thing to see. Coming off a Survivor Series, this could have easily been tragic. Not tragic, man. But obviously, the tag, Sasha and Bayley in the fucking talentless twins, the revival and the open house party, and fucking... There was a lot of shit that still has me scratching my head and want me to put my head to a fucking cement wall. But hey, it's Raw, man. Slowly but surely, we'll start to gain some momentum. That was actually a good Raw in terms of setting up TLC. That much I will say. I'm not going to say it's a good Raw at all because they still have to make major improvements. But as far as setting up TLC, Ambrose and Rollins, I'm more intrigued to see this now. The deactivated monster, if we can do this correctly, and Baron Corbin in a TLC match, somewhat intrigued. We'll see where this goes. I'm not on board with the monster again yet, no. Especially now that he has a shattered elbow. He's even more deactivated than ever before. But we'll see where they're going with this. Now we tune into SmackDown and see what they're going to set up for TLC. Should be a fun ride the next 3 or 4 weeks. TLC is looking a little better than I thought it was going to. I'll see you guys tomorrow for, again, the SmackDown review and reaction show. Thursday, Thanksgiving. I know a lot of content creators are taking the day off. I am not. I'm going to have a real special video out Thursday, guys. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So Thanksgiving, tune into the channel as well for something pretty cool, pretty special. For now, double fisting some fucking Starbucks and whooping that ass. And for now, we'll check you later.